What up? What up? What up, YouTube, Soul Tribe, and the Ether, and the Cosmos? And no, they are not the same. This is your girl, Mighty Mocha, tuning in for Timely Tuesday. Um, I just first want to just give honor and praise to the Most High and say thank you for those who come out and listen every night, who tune in. Thank you for those who pop in when they can, who comment, share, subscribe to my channel. All that good stuff is beautiful. And as I've just been trying to reiterate to my soul tribe, is that the more that I get those comments, those shares, those likes, those subscriptions, it increases my algorithm in the YouTube world and increases the likelihood of my videos being shared with other people and played. Because as you know, we can do a great job, but there are the powers that be that kind of hold dominance and control over your content. And YouTube is no different in terms of that type of platform and setting. So, thank you. Thank you for those who don't come out. It's just as helpful. And as I said before, I have the ability to take all energy, any energy, and manifest it into something positive. That's just one of the gifts that God gave me, and I'm happy to see it play out in this way. So, Timely Tuesday. I heard two songs. I heard However Do You Want It? However do you need me? However do you want it? And I also heard thinking about a master plan. Ain't nothing but sweat inside my hand. Like that's what I heard. I can't help it. That's what I heard. That's just what it was. Um, so I just get the feeling like I know that for me, I've been trying to be more in tune with the universe and be more deliberate in my actions and how I move and set myself up to engage with other people. And I've been kind of calling myself out and being very methodical about my presence and how I show up and who I show up for. And yeah, that's just the kind of the feel that I'm getting. And I know we've had some new moons take place and we're in this retrograde period. But I do think it's very important to understand the impact of time on whatever plans, provisions, goals, dreams, desires that you have set aside and that you're going to set out to pursue. And I think that that is important because although you may want to pursue that goal, that dream, chase that desire, it may not be the right time for it. And so it was interesting right before I sat down to do this reading and to have this discussion or provide this dialogue rather. But it was interesting that I got the however do you want it message and however do you need it message and that someone is thinking about a master plan. And I think that it's interesting because so often we are presented with opportunities or feel that we are kept away from opportunities, but sometimes it's either due to overthinking and over planning. And I'm a Virgo, and I can definitely say that I can overanalyze a situation like no other, right? I can break it down, break it up, do whatever, like a multitude of things with it. Sorry, do a multitude of things with it before I come to a concrete decision about how I want to move forward. But I also know that there have been some situations and circumstances where I've had to move on the fly and make things happen like right then and there because the timing was just so right and so appropriate for it. And I always think about, well, I can think about various points in my life where I had to make choice decisions and had to make them promptly because I felt like I had to make them promptly. Like for instance, when I left my job of 17 years to pursue my master's degree, lo and behold, after I resigned from my job, tapped into my retirement, what did the master's degree program say? Oh, three things that were not cool at all. One, we didn't receive your paperwork. Two, we ran out of funding. And three, you're going to have to wait until next year. And the old me would have been broke down, bent out of shape, and I kind of was. But for some reason, I just felt like hearing those words and knowing that there was nothing I could humanly possibly do about it, it began to quiet me. And it began to quiet me in a way where I could say, maybe it was time for you to leave your job, but maybe it wasn't time for you to pursue this degree at this particular time. And while I thought things were aligning in a way that was beneficial for me, maybe I don't have a backdrop. I'm not the most high. I'm not the creator. I don't know all the time what I'm supposed to be doing and what direction I'm supposed to be moving. And I had to sit with that. I had to sit in that. I had to be comfortable with that. And I had to devise a master plan that could carry me for that year that I wasn't allowed to go to school. And things kind of lined up. It presented me with the opportunity of a lifetime to run my own summer program for parents and children and community stakeholders. And I learned some very valuable lessons about owning my own business and what it takes to run programs and services on your own when you're not funded, through your job. Like it taught me some very valuable lessons. It taught me some things about me. It taught me things about family. It taught me things about folks who support me and the different ways in which they supported me, how they showed up, how some didn't show up. Like I learned a lot. And that was one of the most timeliest lessons or timeliest situations where the chips really could have crumbled for me if I was not able to figure out how I wanted it, how I needed it, and devise a master plan, right? And so I'm just cautioning folks that sometimes, oh goodness, see how spirit runs through. So my sister and I were just talking about this earlier today about how folks are being faced with different situations and circumstances during the pandemic, and they have the feeling that something is happening to them. And we've had this conversation before. Nothing is happening to you, everything is happening for you. And when you have the opportunity, and everybody doesn't have it, because I could have looked at that situation, excuse me, with my job and my master's program, I could have looked at that as a crisis, right? And if I looked at it as a crisis and I didn't have the right support network, my whole world could have fell apart. Like at the blink of an eye, snap of a finger, push of a button, everything could have fell apart. But because I have the tribe that I have, and because I have the faith that I have, and because I have the skills and acumen that I have, and I'm willing to use them, that situation became very timely. I landed a $300,000 grant after I separated from this organization. They offered me the opportunity to run an entire program with a $300,000. And I thought it was a grant, but then here we go with the next lesson. It wasn't a grant. It was a refundable program. It was like you put your money up and then we'll refund you. And I was somebody who just quit my job. And so once I realized what was really working, but that was the business lesson. Once I really realized what was working behind the scenes and some of the other dynamics that played out in that situation, that is unforgettable knowledge, information, and experience that I would not trade for anything in the world. So I just caution you all, as you move forward and start to experience different things in your life, um, check your perception about how you're looking at those things and check the timing of them. I think my daughters and I have talked about this before. There have been times when once we have left a school, or organization, an institution, an entity of any type, a relationship, once we have relinquished it, given it up, and walked away from it, everything started to fall apart. And it no longer served any purpose, let alone our purpose. And we have seen that in schools. We have seen that with businesses. We have seen that, like I said, with different types of organizations and institutions. So I do think that um, things happen for you when it is the right timing for them to happen for you. They happen for you because the universe says this is the time. It's not by accident, it's not by mistake, it's not by persecution. Um, and some people don't believe in karma, but I do even believe that when we experience these periods of highs and lows, when things don't always work out for our best benefit, what we think is our best benefit, if you just give it a little bit of time, I bet you'll see that in the end, it was the best thing that could have happened to you at that particular time. It was to walk you out of and away from and up under something. 1111. It was to walk you out of it. It was to walk you into something new or sit you down and give you the breath and the span, the bandwidth to prepare you for the newness, right? Eric Roberson, the newness. Like I just I feel it with my whole heart and my whole spirit that I've never been put and now, in hindsight, it's 2020. And because when you're in it, when you're in the minutia, when you're feeling it, when you're experiencing it, yes, victimization can arise and can make you feel like, the universe or whomever or whatever is picking on you and putting you down. But I think that divine timing is something that it's one of the biggest graces that we have been gifted with. The timing. I'm gonna close my window. I'm cold. I'm sorry. I have it open when I burn my sage, so I can get the energies that don't belong in here out. But I think divine timing is one of the greatest graces that we have been gifted with. And I think that if we would just take the time to go inside, and I'm a bit of a hermit, so it's easier said than done for me than for others, maybe, possibly. But if we take the time to go inside and to reflect on the experiences that we're having, more than likely, 9 times out of 10, you will come away understanding that what is happening for you and not to you, and that the timing is so appropriate. Even moments where you feel like they're just tower moments, moments of destruction, the loss of family members, the loss of loved ones, the loss of friendships, the loss of jobs. Like I could just go on and on. But you're going to be able one day to look back and use that hindsight to reflect and to go in and see how appropriately timed that intervention was, because that's what I think that they are. I think that they are spiritual and universal interventions that take place on our behalf. Some of us have spirit guides working on our behalf and we don't even know who they are, that they're present, but they show themselves in so many different ways. And one of them is to remove you from situations and to walk you into other situations, right? Okay, so just just be encouraged to know that timing is everything, and that if you can figure out how you want it, how you need it, and apply your master plan to it, then you might be safe in moving forward. And not to say that everything is going to be as you want it, as you see it, but there are going to be these intertwined, interlaced, very poignant moments where you are able to look back and be like, oh my God, what if I had stayed there? I would never have experienced this. Or what if if they hadn't, if they didn't decide to keep me, what if they had decided to keep me on? Or what if I decided to stay in that relationship? Like I can name a couple of relationships where when I left and discontinued my existence in those relationships, the floodgates open for me. I can name jobs where when I left, um, it was like all types of blessings poured down in my favor, rained down on me, right? 15, 15. So just be always mindful of the element of timing in whatever circumstances, situations. Like you can fuss and belabor about a job or a relationship or a certain situation or dynamic, but when you're released from it, you're looked at it as this painful, hurtful process. And it is because it is the unfolding of what is next to come, what is new. It is the rushing into the unknown. It's not so cut and dry that I'm gonna get up and go to this job every day or come home to this man or this woman every day or, you know, go about this routine that I'm so used to every day. Now I have to reinvent myself, revise my actions, restructure my plan, but just be thankful that you're given the time and the opportunity to do so. Okay. So I'm not going to lecture or belabor, but y'all know how I do it. For some of y'all who don't, I usually give my dialogue and then let these beautiful tarot cards kind of drive my message home. And tonight, excuse me, I pulled, see, I pulled the Justice card. I pulled, shuffled the Knight of Pentacles, and I shuffled the Ace of Wands. I said I'm gonna stop saying I pull because I don't pull cards. I shuffle them, and wherever they fall and land is, what it is, and that's what I go by. But the Justice card to me, um, yeah, justice. The justice card is like, you see how that sword is up to the most high, but that scale is held low, right? This is kind of like what the 5D is going to take control of. And this is kind of what how it's going to be demonstrated in the 3D. So the justice card to me always symbolizes that somebody or some situation has been wrongful for somebody, some purpose, something, like whatever. Um, but in the 5D, that situation is being or has been worked out. It's been determined that wrongs are going to be righted, that mistakes are going to be corrected, that um hmm, what's the way I want to say it? What's the way I'm trying to think of? It's the way of saying that there will be equilibrium brought to this set of circumstances or situation. It's Libra energy, definitely. But without even tapping into the zodiac of it, justice is about the underdog and righting the wrongs that have been done to the underdog. And I think it's interesting because once again, it's red that keeps showing up in these cards. It is about action. It's about some action has to be taken to right a situation. Somebody, this is a 1-1, this is an 11 card. So somebody has to take the appropriate action. And if you don't, the universe is going to take it for you. But you see these two pillars here, and they're sitting in the midst of these two pillars. And there is a balance that's going to be created. There is some equilibrium that is going to be brought to a situation, and they are focused on creating the balance between the universe and the 3D world. So the 5D and the 3D world are going to work in unison to right whatever wrong has been brought against somebody. Yeah, period, point blank. And this is about clarity and knowledge and the way it is being used to ensure that a situation and set of circumstances are going to be handled correctly. Okay. All right. And then the Knight of Pentacles. And so, this dark mare. they're sitting on this dark mirror, but they are focused and gazing on their pinnacle. And even though there's one pinnacle, this is kind of okay. Okay, this to me is however do you want it, however do you need it, right? However do you want it, however do you need it. So the universe needs it to happen in one way, but somebody wants this to happen another way. How do you want it, however do you need it? As above, so below. But this is however do you want it, however do you need it. And this is thinking of a master plan. This they're focused on their pinnacle. This is the Knight of Pentacles is somebody that is not swift moving, fast moving. They are slow. They are methodical. This is beautiful. They are slow. They are methodical. They are putting the time in. They are considering all of their resources, outcomes. And what did I say? Sometimes we will analyze and overanalyze, right? And we'll get to that with the Ace of Wands. But sometimes we will analyze and we will overanalyze and we will overanalyze some more and then overanalyze some more. Like I know I do. I literally have to call myself out of it and say, look, this is where you stand on this position. And it is what it is. It wasn't what it wasn't. And it's nothing else that you need to, excuse me, is nothing else that you need to consider. But then there are those of us who need that time to focus, to um, weigh in, to devise a plan and make sure that every T is crossed, every I is dotted, everything has been lined up, and they're not stuck energy. If it was reversed, right? I don't have to reverse it, but if it was upside down, if it was reversed, it would mean stuck energy. But with the red being here and with it being upright and the harness with it being upright, it just says to me that somebody is willing to move forward with their plan, but they just want to make sure that the plan 2222 hope. Yep. They are hoping that the plan that they are devising is the right plan and that not only is it the right plan, like I'm just looking at this card, I'm looking at, so this land here, see these lines here, like the land has been plowed, it's been taken care of, like a way is being made. Okay, a way is being made. Somebody is thinking of a master plan and a way is being made. I don't know if this is relative to like employment, relationships, I don't know. It could be all those things. Just depends on who's listening and how it resonates with them. But they are definitely thinking of a master plan. Eric B. and Rakim, they're thinking of a master plan. And a number sweat inside their hand. And the pinnacle, come on, spirit, get the hell out of here. And 2323, yep. At 5 5, change. And the sweat inside their hand could be very well be their pinnacle. It could be the toils and the fruits of their labor. That could be the sweat inside their hand. And you see that mirror, this horse, he's not racing forward. Like he's calm, he's serene, he is confident that he needs to consider this plan and be very wise about it. And you see, there's only one pinnacle. So maybe they feel like there's only one opportunity, one choice, one chance. You only get one shot. Maybe they're feeling like there's only one shot, one chance to step in, move in, and get this right. Um, and to deliver it in a way where it is received appropriately, where ah, okay, where it is received appropriately and where justice in the end will be served in the 3D, maybe because 444, maybe because they have put the work in the 5D, like done their spiritual work, done their shadow work, taking care of things that need to be taken care of, and ended some cycles that needs to be ended. Yeah, they're in no hurry though. So if somebody is wishing that they hurry up and come on and do whatever it is that they're gonna do, they're not feeling that. They're gonna be they're willing to grind, like to even if it's like they're willing to just put the work in. So this is cool. And okay, all right, okay. Okay, and then this is cool because the last card that I shuffled was the Ace of Wands, right? And the Ace of Wands is always about this, and they're looking at it. They're focused on it. They're focused on that pentacle, and right in front of them is the Ace of Wands. And the Ace of Wands is about um it's about that blessing that's coming in. It's about that reward that's coming in. It's about oh gosh, new opportunities. You have manifested something. What I say, as above, so below. So you have manifested something. You have put your time, your effort, your thoughts, your vision into something, and you're going to be rewarded with that if you continue on in the way that you are doing, if you continue your rituals, your routines. Am I talking to myself? Good God. I think I might need to use a new deck too, because this was the first deck that I bought and it was for me. And I've been finding out like a lot lately when I read this deck, I'm resonating with all of the messages, and maybe I'm supposed to. So it is what it is. But this Ace of Wand is like, yeah, out of the clouds. See that? See how that extension is coming like out of the clouds, out of nowhere. That extension of prosperity, that wand, that wealth, um, is coming, and you see that there is foliage there is fluid energy there. There's a foundation in the background of stability, but that wand came out of nowhere, and all around it is light and light energy and fruitfulness. And so whomever it is that maybe this night is going to accept this Ace of Wands, right? I don't know. I don't know. I could just be like really, really overthinking it. But what I say, something required hard work and determination, and you're going to be rewarded for that. So this is why I love doing it. So this is timely, but it's going to be at the right time. It's not going to be when you think it is. It's going to be at the right time. It's going to be um, when you thought you were done, when you thought you were done, when you thought that there was nothing left to receive. I'm just looking at the black eyes in the horses, the black eyes of the horse. But there's a I'm looking at like I said here, there's a pathway. There's a pathway. You have had to do some stuff, put some work in, be very consistent, persistent, diligent. Um, but yeah, it looks like rewards are abound. It looks like you're about to reap the benefits of your toil and your labor, that sweat in your hands. Hey, Nico, baby. Yeah, it just looks like that's what's about to come through. And I would just urge you to be persistent and continue on the path that you're on, because without a shadow of a doubt, the universe, the 5D, sees your efforts, and I love you. The 5D sees your efforts, and they're going to bring justice and make sure that you get your just desserts. And as long as you stay focused and keep thinking of that master plan, and massaging that sweat inside your hand, like all you got to do is figure out however do you want it. Do you want it on a 5D level where it is secured by the universe? and how it's going to demonstrate and show up in the 3 level. It's going to be justice and equanimity here. And you are going to achieve the things that you have set out to achieve. You are going to continue to put the work in. You're not going to be blindsided by any obstacles or difficult roads or hills that you have to climb. And then, almost like at the blink of an eye, out of nowhere, this magic for you is going to show up and show out, and it's going to bear you the fruits of your labor. You're going to see your pinnacle blossom. You're going to see your efforts and your energies blossom. You're going to see you radiating from the work that and the time, the resources, everything that you have given to the situation, whatever it is. Like I said, excuse me, like I said, work, love life, doesn't matter, your family, your friends, but this is a awesome ass read, but you're going to see it. You're going to see it materialize, and you're going to understand that it's not by happenstance or by chance, but it is the timely rewards for efforts and resources and time that you have put in. So I think you just need to understand that whatever situation unfolds, however it unfolds, it is for your best effort and for your best interest. And it is something that if you continue to invest in, yeah, you ain't gonna have nothing to worry about. I think the universe has already said we got you. And long as you know that, then this is what your end result is going to be. So I suggest that you keep pushing ahead, and I suggest that you continue to invest in yourself, invest in your master plan, um, and to know that you're covered, to know that you're all right. And for as much as it may be difficult and challenging, and I notice like the aloneness, right? This solitude, this, like I said, I'm the hermit, so sometimes for me it doesn't hurt to go inside. It's safe for me there, but just know that you're really not alone. Like spirit is with you. What I say, 1111. Spirit is with you. They are observing. Look at her. She is just so freaking focused. So they are observing your efforts. They're observing that sweat inside your hand. They're observing you trying to do things justly, with equanimity, righteously, um, and resolutely and determinedly, almost doggedly, right? So just remain encouraged and know that time is on your side. You don't have to force an issue. You don't have to be overbearing. You don't have to regret anything. You just have to stay focused, um, and do what your spirit, your highest self, informs you is the right and righteous thing to do. And you'll get your just desserts, right? So, on that note, I'm gonna drop my wand. And you guys know how I say it. Anybody could read these cards any way that they want to, but we ain't talking about them. We talking about me. And that's the way I see them and read them and feel them. And I again thank my baby Nico, and it's somebody else who always gets on this call. I don't know if it's my sister Dee Dee, but if it's Dee, thank you, boo boo, love you. And if it's not, thank you, whomever you are. I appreciate your presence. And thank you for listening to Timely Tuesday. I will see you guys for Wishful Wednesday. And just be encouraged, keep your head up. And thank you for those who don't show up and who don't come out. I love you anyway. And oh, happy New Orleans Mardi Gras to those out there. Like get your tequila on, your whatever, and have a good time. And I, as always, always sincerely and genuinely wish you guys peace, light, love, and happiness, right? One. And thank you for my likes. I appreciate it. Love you guys. Talk to you tomorrow. Night, night.